Russian dissidents go on trial must continue.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Max Robinson in Chicago, Peter Jennings in London, Barbara Walters special reports, and tonight a comment from Howard K. Smith, and from our Washington desk, Frank Reynolds.
Good evening, and welcome to the first broadcast of the World News Tonight. Speaking for all the men and women of ABC News.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Richard Threlkeld for the vacationing Peter Jennings at the foreign desk in London.
Israeli warplanes have bombed and strafed West Beirut for a second day.
Max Robinson at the national desk in Chicago.
Veteran actor Vic Morrow is dead after a freak movie set accident in Hollywood.
And from our desk in Washington, Frank Reynolds.
Good evening. The government released the latest figures on inflation today. Nothing to be pleased about, but not really alarming either.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. President Reagan has been out on the campaign trail again today, and it was the nature trail. In Pakistan, the hijacking of Pan American Flight 73 comes to an end in gunfire and bloodshed.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. The hijacking of Pan Am Flight 73 is over, but the cost has been very high.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. In some parts of the world today, it was an ordinary day.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the ugly memories of the Los Angeles riots. In the State versus O.J. Simpson, black and white Americans.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with that moment which froze much of the nation in its tracks today, that extraordinary moment. On World News Tonight this Wednesday, where is Andrew Cunanan? He may still be in Swiss banks.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the search for Andrew Cunanan. The authorities all over the country are on a higher alert. On World News Tonight this Monday, Saddam Hussein says he will not let the latest UN weapons inspection team, the Monday edition of Your Money.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, Monday, January 12th. This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. Yes, the newsroom here at ABC News in New York has been, well, modernized is as good a word as any. It may take us a while to get used to it, but this is where we're going to work. On World News Tonight this Friday, the Atlanta killer had promised to kill those who sought his destruction. The Century on Friday.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin in Atlanta tonight. It has become clearer in 24 hours what motivated Mark Barton to kill a dozen people. On World News Tonight this Thursday, terrorism and warfare. The market is way down.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. It was broad daylight today when the USS Cole began to tie up. On World News Tonight, a bad accident in New York Harbor. The Staten Island ferry, say the cops.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to begin not far from here tonight in New York Harbor. It has been an unusually windy day.
On World News Tonight, U.S. and Iraqi forces storm into Fallujah. Blockbuster movie.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight in Iraq. The battle for Fallujah has begun in earnest. More than 10,000 U.S. and Iraqi troops.
On World News Tonight, terror alert. Security, it's all about attitude.
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight. Reporting from ABC News headquarters, Bob Woodruff.
Good evening. We start tonight with breaking news. Here in New York tonight, officials say they are increasing security on the city's massive subway system.
Welcome to World News. Tonight, stocks get hammered. An ABC News exclusive.
From ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
Good evening. For a long time, it was a word that administration officials simply would not say.
On World News, historic vote amid cheers and outrage, arriving on time.
From the global resources of ABC News, this is ABC World News with Diane Sawyer.
Good evening, and it is so good to be here with you tonight. And we begin with the seismic vote on health care reform. This is World News. Tonight, breaking point, a cry for help from a New York town found the ticket in her car.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News with Diane Sawyer.
Good evening. As we come on the air, it is getting darker and colder in New York.
Welcome to World News, and tonight breaking news here in the mystery of Flight 370. World News starts now.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News with Diane Sawyer. Reporting tonight, David Muir.
Good evening on this Thursday night. Diane has the evening off, and we have a lot to get to. And tonight, breaking news, your money, your taxes, and President Trump's tax plan. Hours from now.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Thursday night, and we begin with your money, your taxes. President Trump on the verge of victory. Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. There is major news coming in right now involving the race for a vaccine and the daring rescues underway at this hour. At least 25 major fires across California tonight. What the airline is now saying tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to be back with all of you at home after this Labor Day holiday. And we do have several major developments tonight as we come on the air.